Lee Min-ho opens up about song Hye Kyo. Fans left in tears. A rare silence before the storm. K-drama Haven family. Some interviews are routine. Some interviews make headlines. But every once in a while, an interview becomes history. Because in that one fragile moment, a star lowers their guard, and the world sees their heart. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. That's exactly what happened when Lee Min-ho sat down for what was supposed to be a casual, celebratory interview, and ended up opening his soul about none other than song Hye Kyo. The interview setting. The scene was quiet. A glossy studio lit by warm golden lights. Min-ho, dressed in a simple black sweater and tailored slacks, looked effortlessly elegant, yet there was something in his eyes. The host began with light questions about his career, his recent projects, his global influence. Fans tuned in expecting charm, maybe a few jokes, maybe even some behind-the-scenes laughs. But then, the host asked the question. Min-ho Sasai. The internet has been buzzing about your recent public moments with song Hye Kyo. What does she really mean to you? The room went still. The cameras zoomed in. And for the first time that night, Lee Min-ho paused. His eyes told the story first. Before his lips even moved. His silence said everything. His jaw tightened. His gaze softened. He leaned back for a moment, almost as if gathering the strength to speak. And then, in a voice lower and heavier than usual, he began. Hye Kyo, she's not just a colleague. She's not just a friend. She's someone I deeply respect. Someone I admire in ways I can't even put into words. The host blinked, sensing the weight of the moment. Fans watching live began typing furiously. He's trembling, look at his hands. Is he about to cry? This is not just a normal answer. The memories flood back. Min-ho smiled faintly, almost bitterly, as though remembering something only he and Hye Kyo knew. When I was starting out, I looked up to her. She had this way of carrying herself, elegant, graceful, yet so strong. And when we finally stood side by side on that red carpet, it felt like life had come full circle. The host leaned forward. And how did it feel, walking with her that night? Min-ho's voice cracked, just slightly. It felt unreal. Like I wasn't just walking with a co-star or another celebrity. I was walking with history. With someone who has given so much to this industry. And to me, personally, more than people will ever know. The vulnerable confession. For a moment, his eyes glistened. And then came the words that sent fans into tears. You know, people see us smiling in photos, waving to cameras, but they don't see the real part. They don't see how much she comforts me, how much she understands me, even in silence. Song Hye Kyo is one of the most important people in my life. The studio fell silent. The host, visibly moved, struggled to keep composure. And fans watching the live stream. They weren't just emotional. They were wrecked. The internet reaction. Within minutes, hashtags flooded Weibo, Twitter, TikTok. Hashtag Lee Min-ho tears. Hashtag Min-ho and Hye Kyo. Hashtag King and Queen of K-drama. Clips of him choking up spread across platforms, racking millions of views in hours. I didn't expect to cry over an interview today. The way he said, one of the most important people. I can't breathe. Min-ho and Hye Kyo aren't just actors. They're a once-in-a-generation connection. Even international media picked it up. Headlines read, Lee Min-ho's emotional confession about song Hye Kyo breaks the internet. The aftermath, fans unite. But it didn't stop at tears. Fans began creating letters, digital messages written to both Min-ho and Hye Kyo, thanking them for their impact. One trending fan note read, You gave us dramas. You gave us characters. But tonight you gave us yourselves. Thank you for being real. And soon a movement was born. Fans declared Lee Min-ho and song Hye Kyo not just stars, not just actors, but the king and queen of K-drama forever. The legacy. By the end of the night, Min-ho's words had been replayed millions of times. And though he hadn't spoken about romance, marriage, or even the future, fans agreed. This was more powerful. Because for the first time, Lee Min-ho let the world see the truth of his heart. And that truth had a name. Hye Kyo. Entrance. The night glittered with sequins, lights, and endless applause. Stars walked the carpet, but all eyes were fixed on two names. Song Hye Kyo arrived first, radiant in an ivory gown that flowed like a dream. The cameras couldn't stop flashing. Fans chanted her name as if she were royalty. Minutes later, Lee Min-ho appeared, tall, striking, dressed in a perfectly tailored black tuxedo. His presence was magnetic, his every step echoing like destiny itself. And when the cameras caught them exchanging a smile across the hall, the crowd erupted. The announcement. The night rolled on with awards and performances, but nothing compared to the climax. The Grand Honorary Award for Global K-Drama Icons goes to Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo. The hall shook. The audience screamed. The internet broke in real time. This wasn't just recognition. This was history. The walk to the stage. They rose from their seats at the same time. Hye Kyo, graceful, clutching her gown as she walked. Min-ho, steady, extending his arm without hesitation. And then it happened, she took his arm. Two legends, side by side, walking to the stage as if the world itself had been waiting for this one image. The speech that melted hearts. At the podium, the applause refused to die down. The two stars exchanged a glance, almost laughing at the overwhelming noise. Song Hye Kyo spoke first, her voice calm but trembling. To be honored alongside Min-ho SSI tonight. It feels surreal. We've walked different journeys, yet somehow, we are standing here together. And I think that's the beauty of this industry, that destinies cross in the most unexpected ways. The audience clapped, some even wiping tears. Then it was Lee Min-ho's turn. He took a deep breath, gripping the mic, his voice heavy with emotion. I said in an interview not long ago that Hye Kyo SSI is one of the most important people in my life. Tonight, standing here with her, I can only repeat that, and add that she's also one of the most important people in all of our lives, because of what she's given to the world through her work, her grace, her heart. The hall went silent, and then thunderous applause. The internet explodes again. Fans online were uncontrollable. Did he just confirm what he said in the interview? This is bigger than an award. This is a love letter. Song Hye Kyo's eyes when he spoke, my heart is gone. Weibo, TikTok, Twitter. Hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag Min-ho and Hye Kyo. Hashtag King and Queen on stage. Hashtag K-drama royalty. The final gesture. As the night ended, the two walked off stage still arm in arm. And just before exiting, Min-ho leaned close, whispering something to Hye Kyo that made her smile softly. A smile fans would replay 1,000 times over, trying to decode. What did he say? Was it gratitude, admiration, or something more? The mystery only fueled the fire. A new era. By morning, one truth was undeniable. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo weren't just stars anymore. They were a legacy, a story for the ages, a connection so powerful, it blurred the line between fiction and reality. And fans couldn't help but wonder, was this just an award show? Or the beginning of something the world has been dreaming of all along?